Well, happy Sunday, everybody. This is the Ask a Painter Show. I am Nick Slavic. I'm the proprietor of the Nick Slavic Painting and Restoration Company. I'm also the host of this show, Ask a Painter Live. It's a weekly live Facebook show where I use my over 2 decades of experience as a craftsman and an entrepreneur to answer any of your questions. Now, for professionals, we can talk anything you want to. Coding science, entrepreneurship, apprenticeship, marketing, job site prep, job site layout like we're doing here. And for homeowners, this is one of the largest collections of some of the most thoughtful, knowledgeable, professional craftspeople you'll ever see. So any questions you have, this is the place for it. All the free knowledge you've ever wanted. If we don't know the answer, we know the people who has it. So today, very special show. Thank you to the PDCA for sponsoring this. We're going to get to the PDCA Contractor Question of the Week shortly. We are here at the Minneapolis Convention Center. Take a look at this. Beautiful place. This is the soon-to-be the Home and Garden Show here in Minneapolis, one of the many that are done here. And this behind me is called the Idea Home. Last week, they basically put this thing up in 3 or 4 days, and next weekend the show opens. This will be basically a 90% completed home that people can walk through, take a look around, and possibly buy services and products from it. So all around us here are landscapers. I'm going to give you guys a tour of this whole thing here. Landscapers are setting up the first tier of people, then the next tier of people come in and set up, so it's not too busy. I'm going to walk you through the house. We're going to go through the PDCA Contractor Question of the Week, and then we're just going to basically, anything you guys want to talk about when we're here, just start suggesting topics, putting your questions down below. I see my beautiful wife Toots is watching too, so makes me nervous, but say hi to the kids for me. It is Sunday. Normally we do not work Sundays, but today I have like 60% of my company here, and we're going to knock this thing out. It's almost lunchtime. Basically where this house sits is we got here at 8. We took a half an hour to lay out a plan. We did some spot priming of some of the markings on this plywood here so it doesn't bleed through. One coat is completely done, and we're about halfway through the second coat. We've only been painting about 3.5 hours, give or take here. So why don't I give you guys a tour of this Idea Home and the place here. We'll sit down, we'll do the PDCA Contractor Question of the Week, which deals with job site setup. I'll actually show you how 3 of my crews set up their stuff here, and then we'll just chat about anything you guys want to. So let's take you for a walk around here. All right, so mobile command unit, me and Holly, my client concierge, my production manager is here. We got carpenters siding the outside here. We've got our mission board here, so layout of the house here, numbers here dictating what's got first coat, what's got second coat. Some rooms are done, labeled by people, who's doing what. Rooms that have ceilings, we knocked out the ceilings first. We have a kind of a timeline of priority of what we're doing. You can see we're on the second top coat here, ceiling done. So you can see we are surrounded by landscapers, and because it's lunchtime, we're getting a brief reprieve from all the wet saws here. It gets a little crazy. In the background, you can see all my pretty fleet lined up in the back here. We rarely get all the vehicles in one place, so it's kind of cool to see them all here together. All right, we have the Idea House behind us here. The siders are probably 2/3 done. Beautiful, beautiful house, little modernist, kind of cubist kind of house here. Love the colors they picked out, love the finishes. Hirschfield's is a sponsor for us this year. We get to use all the awesome Hirschfield stuff. Hirschfield's is kind of a Midwest paint manufacturer, our hometown paint manufacturer here. Love them. They're giving us all the paint for this, and they're the underwriters on this. You can see the backside here. We got guys putting up some hardy board, LP. There's the man, Lee Burgum. He's in charge of this whole thing, EPS. This is actually a structurally insulated panel here in the house. It's called a SIP construction. They build all of this house in a factory, deliver it on a truck, and then in a couple hours they pop it all up. It's spray foam sandwiched between OSB. It's really cool. It's like a big Lego house kind of deal. So you can see the awesome. And kindest thing you guys can do for a show like this is to like the Ask a Painter page. Also share it. Share it with other like-minded people here. So give you a tour of this side. Yep, so we got this side of the house here. We'll take you around, then I'll take you through the inside of it too. You guys can have a look-see. beautiful, beautiful construction. All the guys are really nice to work with here too. This is our second year doing this. It's just a blast. It's one of the biggest culture kind of builders that we have in our company. Everybody loves doing it. So, all right, looks like we got some beautiful kind of blue trim here. We got our air scrubbers today. Today they're acting as air movers. We need to move a lot of air so this stuff can dry so we can get done. Master suite here, open above, so we can get light in here. Beautiful accent wall. Joao, good to see you, my friend. Buenas noche. We got master closet here. We have master bathroom here. Ceiling painted, walls double coated. We have spare bedroom here, kind of a putty kind of color like this. Again, open to the ceiling here. We'll let some light in. Love these windows too, the kind of 2/2 set kind of thing. We go Nick behind us. Get another coat on these walls here. Fireplace, hearth kind of stacked there. This room is the last one we have to do here to kind of get some final coats on. You can see Alex up there giving it a cut. Little vestibule right here, just got its second coat on. After we're done, they're going to put all the trim and stuff on after, so it's kind of a quick in and out for us. And as promised, I will show you guys how we lay out our job sites. If I can snake my way through here without stepping over cords or anything. All right, let's go through here. All right, so we have SOPs in my company, standard operating procedures. And we have certain ways where we load our vans. We have certain ways we set up a job area. We always call this kind of the workshop or the shop or set up a shop or some version like that. And today we have 3 crews on this job here. 2 very particular things that I like to do are to get steps and lanes for all your coatings. So what you see here is we have a drop cloth laid out. And we have all of our paints here. So we started with a primer, we have an accent color, we have the wall paint, bathroom paint. And then all the associated cans with it as well. It's kind of steps and lanes where everything is kind of nice and segmented out so nobody messes up colors, coatings, things like that. And then for our gear, all my gear is color coded and it's a tote system. So this is blue tote right here. You can see the blue tape on the side of them, like that. We have red team right here, which is their gear here. And then we have pink crew right here as well. Each one will have a tote like this, which is a perishable tote. We do caulking, we do tape, we do a little bit of upshot in there too, a little bit of spackle. And that comes into the houses every day with us because it does freeze violently here in Minnesota, and we can't leave this stuff outside in our van. So we have one tote called the perishable tote like this, and that comes inside with us every night. Other than that, we always have the little totes for our tools like this. Standard hand tools, nothing would surprise you there. Stacks of rollers, we have pan liners here. Let's see what else we got here. This guy's just finishing up a little section here. Let's pop this thing down and let's talk for a little bit here, if you like. Any questions you guys have, pop them in down below. Any comments, whatever you need here. Otherwise, we are going to get back to work. So, the PDCA contractor question of the week was, how do you set up a job site for kind of efficiency? And that is how we set up a job site for efficiency. You have to get your people in the habit of doing the same thing over and over and over again. So the second we get out of our vehicles, the crew leaders have one thing that they do, the apprentices have another thing that they do. Normally the crew leaders are making contact with our clients, just verifying the scope, verifying the colors, making sure that everything looks the same as on the estimate and our jump sheet. Our jump sheet is basically a work order. And then the apprentices are setting up the shop. And they set up all the gear and stuff like that. So yeah, that makes for a very efficient job site. So if your totes are organized, if everybody knows what goes in there, You set up a nice shop where everybody can get at everything. It's clean. It's a centrally located place. You don't have to walk that far into the job site. All your gear is there, and it's good. And it's basically just the repetition of getting your people to do it over and over and over again to do that. And you know, we have all of this stuff written down in the company, but it's basically, you know, you can write down all the things you want, and it's compliance. You have to just repeat and drill over and over and over again to get everybody to comply with your system. So thank you to the PDCA, the Painting and Decorating Contractors of America, for supplying the contractor question of the week. Now, in about 2 weeks' time, at about the end of the first week in March, I will be at the PDCA National Convention. It's down in Savannah, Georgia. I will be joined by a whole bunch of awesome people that you know and love from this show, from the internet as a whole. Dustin Zapanzik will be there. I believe he's bringing his wife as well. My wife is flying down Friday night. We're going to spend the weekend in Savannah. Jason Paris will be there. He'll be presenting, as will I. You definitely don't miss Jason Paris when he talks. If you've not been to one of these national expos, or even some of the smaller ones like the Residential Expo, the Craftsmanship Forum, things like that for the PDCA, you should definitely look it up at least once. This last year for the Residential Forum, which is basically a group of, you know, a few hundred residential painting contractors, I brought my entire leadership team, all my crew leaders, everybody else, and they got to experience what I experience, and also everybody there got to experience what I experience every day. So it was a great time. It culminated with a yacht cruise on Lake Minnetonka here, which is a beautiful lake, in the evening with food and drinks and all that stuff. So it was an absolute blast. So I will say this, I will be presenting my one of my newest master's classes called the Modern Apprenticeship, where it's basically my solution to the labor lag, or the labor crisis right now. Universally, and it's not just with painters, it's all kind of craftspeople. Everybody's biggest problem right now is we can't find enough good people. I have not fully given up on experienced craftspeople. I actually have one person coming on this next week for a trial. Somebody who came to me as an experienced painter would like to do some of the craft with me, and I basically told him, you know, you can have a trial with me, but this doesn't work out very well. Normally you get a couple things. 10 years ago, you could probably find people to paint, but they might have been a little, you know, not the greatest people. They didn't align with your core values too tightly. What I've been finding over the last couple of years is that when somebody comes to you and says, I'm an experienced painter, I command a lot of money, and I'm going to just kill it for you. Number one, they're not that good at painting. Number two, they're not that fast. And number three, they end up being relatively scary human beings. And so I've not altogether given up on finding experienced craftspeople. I'll still entertain the idea, but I have very low expectations for most of this now, and I just hope to be surprised, because the track record is not great with that. So, and I see that Jimmy John's lunch is here, so I'll probably wrap this up shortly. But if you guys have any other questions about the project here, getting everything done in a day, job site layout, coding science, whatever else, let me know. I'm always happy to help, and I think it's lunchtime. We're going to get after it here, but thank you everybody for supporting this. Thank you to the PDCA, the Painting and Decorating Contractors of America, for underwriting this show. I mean, it's the largest group of some of the greatest humans on the planet that are involved with the entrepreneurial side of paint businesses, and it's really helped my business grow. It's given me a lot of perspective, and it's a fun group of people to be around, and I'll be around them in another couple weeks. So thank you everybody for watching. I'll be giving more live updates here. If you guys want to follow along with this project, type in the hashtag #OneDayOneHouseProject, and you'll see all my live videos from here. So Shirley, thank you very much. Appreciate you watching. Thanks everybody else for watching here, and I'll follow up with these, but otherwise it's lunchtime, and oh, let's see what we got here. Juliano Pereira. I'm starting to get really upset at tradesmen lately. I've been looking for some solid key players, but are all creepy and arrogant. Yeah, it's tough. So it's not that tradespeople are bad people. It's just that the baby boomers comprise most of the trades for the last 50 years, and there's been a big lag. They sort of left out the Gen Xers. They certainly left out the millennials. So it's not that there's nobody in the trades. It's not that nobody's interested in the trades. It's just that the boomers maybe did not make the best argument for getting into the trades. When you think of the average, you know, baby boomer who's in the trades, you think of a grumpy, later in life man who's not that interested in teaching you. who's not that interested in fostering young people or taking the time to train them. Now, gross generalization. I know tons of people who are not that, are great craftspeople, love to teach people to trade, and are good to be around. But we have to be honest. As a whole, the baby boomers did not make a great argument for young people getting into the trades. I mean, after all, what I always say is, if the trades are so good, and the baby boomers always complain like, hey, where's all the rest of these young people? They're lazy, they're stupid, they listen to weird music, they dress weird. Why don't they get into the trades? Well, number one, you have to make a good argument for getting into the trades. You have to be happy, and you have to show them prosperity to get into the trades. Because if everybody's toiling for $14 an hour and your knees are shot and you're not that happy about life, I would say that's a fairly bad way to energize and inspire young people to get into your trade. Now, think about computer coding. To me, there is probably no more soul-deadening thing for somebody like me than you could do is sit in front of a computer and type in code all day. But the computer coding industry as a whole has done a great thing as far as public relations go, because there's open offices, there's foosball, there's free lunch, there's archery practice midday. They have made the career and the occupation of computer coding sexy. You're in Silicon Valley, you're around a bunch of young people, it's a cool job, it's a cool workplace and all that. They have done a great job of taking something mundane and boring and turning it very interesting to youth. They have done a good job of showing happy, prosperous people with futures. The trades just haven't done that in a long time. So I think it's the millennials, it's our job now to basically get back out there and say, listen, we're happy, we're prospering, we're creating good jobs for other people around us, we're inspiring people to like their jobs, and you need to get out there and do more of that. So that's basically, I feel that there's been more of a labor lag than there is. When I think about the trades right now, I don't think millennials and Gen Z look at the trades and decide against the trades. I don't even think they're looking at the trades because we haven't made it a viable option for them. So yeah, so that's basically our job now. We have to be happy. If we are happy, we have to tell people about it. We have to be prosperous. We have to create a business to create jobs for happy people. And we have to show people the benefit of loving your job. Now, I understand that this is not for everybody. I'm fully aware of that. I am not one of those college versus the trades people. I have a college education, a bachelor's degree with a double minor. I also love the trades deeply. So I think the combination of the both is very interesting, because loving the craft is one thing, but if you ever want to have a retirement or build jobs for other people, you're also going to have to understand the business side. Not that you have to go to college, but my college was not useless. It was actually one of the most useful things I've ever done. Also, Army didn't hurt either, but it's a very interesting thing. So let's see, go through a couple more comments here. Shirley Nestor, spot on. Thank you very much. Juliano Pereira, to get the right people involved with my company, I have been toying with the idea of making our work days more fun. You have to. It's basically culture now. I spend so much of my time nowadays just making contact with my people, making sure everybody's needs are met, making sure that we're understanding the needs of the client and going forth and doing that. When you get involved with millennials and Gen Z, you have to understand that it's a way more touchy-feely experience. If you're going to go the employee route, obviously you can go, if you're going to have a whole bunch of subcontracting crews, it's a completely other animal. But if you're going for the ultimate client experience, which isn't always achievable, but doesn't stop you from trying, I think you need to control your labor force with employees. So let's see what else we got here. Adam Larson, how cool is that behind you? Sweet. Show those other tradespeople how painting is really done. Proud of you and your crew. Oh, thanks a lot, man. Adam and I used to work together too. Love Adam. He's a local teacher in your grade too. So, all right. Thank you to the PDCA, the Painting and Decorating Contractors of America. I'll get to see some of my best friends in the industry here in a couple of weeks. Thank you to EPS, the company who puts this on. Thank you to the Minneapolis Convention Center and the Home and Garden Show for having us again. I guess we made such a good splash last year. We were so efficient, so professional, they asked us back, which is always a big compliment. I always like that. So this is another fun one. It builds culture in the company, and it's a fun project to do in and out on a Sunday. So thanks everybody for watching. We're going to have some lunch, get back after it, get all my people back home to their families, and you guys have a good rest of the weekend. So thanks again. See you later.